Hello, everyone. How is everyone doing? Hope you're doing well. Welcome to my channel. And today I want to talk to you about how you can look at how you can get to 10K months. One of the easiest routes that's going to help you, whether you are a care recruitment agency or whether you do care homes, for example. And I just want to show you some examples here today that's going to help you in 2025, for example. So I'm just going to go through some of the things with you. Hi, I'm Christine Crowle and welcome to my channel. I've been in healthcare now for 35 years. So you don't really need to think about trying to do lots of different care businesses all at once. If I was going to start all over again, what I would do is exactly this, is I would focus on doing live-in care. That's one of the things I would focus on, is live-in care, because you're getting a block number of hours, as well as recruitment care agency where I'm doing 12-hour shifts minimum, for example. So again, I'm Christine Crowle and I have been in healthcare for over 35 years, and I want to help you to get to 10K a month to get your business started. So I know that there's a lot of you that are going through the route of recruitment care agency where you're providing temporary staff members, but look at doing permanent placement as well. That's another route. And another super fast route is doing subcontracting. If you're doing subcontracting where you're working for another organization and you're helping them to cover shifts, that is the quickest route to get to 10K a month, because they've already got very large contracts and they'll be able to use your organization, quite quickly because they need your help. Now, there's many different companies that you can approach. There's private organizations that have got contracts with possibly hospitals. You've got home care agencies that have got contracts with the councils, for example, and there's also sheltered housing. So look at all the different ways. So you got to determine which route you want to go down and how much you want to make. So if you want to make 10,000 a month, for example, then you've then got to be looking at, okay, how many clients do I need to serve? So if you're doing like block hours, for example, 12-hour shifts, then you've got 10K. You divide that into, say, 52 weeks of the year. That will tell you the number of shifts that you need to cover, the number of 12-hour shifts that you need to cover in order to make your 10K month, for example. So if you're doing 10,000 a month times 12, then divide that into 52. Then if you're doing 12 shifts, for example, you need to be doing about 12,307 hours a week. Divide that by 12 shifts, for example, so then you need to do 192 shifts a week, which is a lot, for example. Now, another easier route is if you was to place someone permanently with an organization. So if you've got two nurses, for example, and they're at 45,000 a year, and you're charging, let's say you're charging between 10 to 20%. They usually accept the 10 to 15%. So if you do that, that's 15%. 45,000 times 15. That gives you £6,750, for example. So imagine if you've got at least 1.5 of those a month, for example, or two nurses that you've placed monthly with an organization, then that's 10 grand that you get to keep for yourself. You're going to have little overheads. This is something which you can do by yourself. You don't need to have other people in there. You can actually do this by yourself, okay, unless you want to get someone in. Okay, so that is one explanation of how you can get the fastest route of getting 10k. Look at permanent placement, and then also look at subcontracting with an organization that's already got contracts, that have got lots of work and want to give you lots of work. So you can get your that's the quickest route that you can take, for example. Now I'm going to go through the third one as well, and we'll go through this together. So get your notepad and paper, do your maths, get your pen and paper. So you want to really look at reoccurring revenue, and that's where the temporary placements come in, for example, as well as permanent placement. That will help you to get recurring revenue, for example, because you need to do that in order to reach that 10k every single month, so that you've got something to place in case you lose something, for example, lose a client, then you've got another client to fall back on that's going to help you to create that 10k a month. Okay, now some people say, should I do free work, okay, to get clients, to get to know what I'm like, etc. You don't need to do that, not in today's world. You can do if you want to. That is one way of getting your foot in the door, but you don't really need to do that right now. So think about that if you're going to do that, okay? Because sometimes people will take advantage. So grab your pen and paper, and I'm going to go through a few things with you. So when people want to do free work for you, they will possibly take advantage. So you could be approaching different organizations and they're all doing free work, and then you're getting nothing back. Okay, so be mindful of that. Okay, some people think that they should be offering free work. It's okay to do discount, but I would not do that. Okay, all right. So that's another thing that you need to be aware of as well. Mentally, it's not going to be very good for you feeling that way. Okay, right. So the next thing what I would think of doing is I would definitely look at doing the permanent placement, for example, and I would also look at doing things like live-in care. Okay, that's what I'd be focusing on, permanent placement and live-in care as well, so that you can get your business off the ground as quickly as possible. But also, as a third element, I would be looking at approaching organizations that have got contracts that you can see online. They've been awarded contracts, and you know they're probably not fulfilling all of that contract because they don't have enough staff members. This is where you can come in and help them to fulfill that contract. You'll also get a reference as well to use it for when you're using another applying for another big contract, for example. So this is my explanation of how you can really move forward with your business. But what I would like to say to you is I'd like for you to subscribe to this channel, because this will help to Google algorithms to help share this video with more people. So do like and subscribe if you are enjoying what I'm saying to you. Okay, so the next thing is you need to think about is, what are your processes? Do you need a website? You don't really, but you will need to put in a lot of hours, and that's another thing that I need to mention. You need to put in a lot of hours to get these leads in, because they're not going to just fall into your lap. Okay, so what is it that you need to do hours wise? Probably a lot of hours a week. in order to get these leads to come through to begin with. Remember, your goal is to get to take 10K a month, for example. Then you need to focus on this, okay? Keep things simple as possible so that you're not overstretching yourself. So think about what skills that you're needed, for example, to build that 10K a month. Okay, focus on 5 things that you want to do in order to get 10K a month. Now, I've mentioned 3 already. I mentioned the permanent placement. I mentioned the living care. I mentioned subcontracting with an organization. Subcontracting, if you can approach at least about 20 organizations that have got contracts, then, all being well, you should get 5 of those contracts. And those 5 contracts should be reoccurring revenue. That's what I would be focusing on every single month. Okay? All the others will come into place, but I would be focusing on those 20 contractors that have been awarded contracts. I would be focusing on nurturing and building relationships with them. And then I would then be saying, hey, look, let's work together. I can do this for you every month, every week, for example. Let's work together. So those are the 5 things that you need to really focus on, is who it is that you really, truly want to work with. What resonates with you? What do you feel aligned with? And then you don't need to get any other staff members in until you're at 10K, a minimum a month on a regular basis where it's reoccurring revenue. That way you're not going to stress and think, oh, I've got to pay my staff members, I've got to do this, I've got to do that, I've got to do that for them. They go off sick, I've got to deal with this, I've got sick pay, all of these things. Make life easy for yourself. In 2025, you're just starting out. You want to be able to really look at what is in line with your lifestyle, what it is that you want for your future self, for example, but make that start now and start working for yourself. So I hope that that was helpful for you, and that you're, thinking of doing this, because it is something which is important. Make sure that you got your presentation correctly as well, so that when you're approaching these organizations to get your 10K a month, they need to see what it is that you do, so they want to work with you. Okay? Think about what skills that you're going to need. So, for example, your skills that you're going to need is that you're going to need to get used to being on the telephone. You got to pick that phone up and call and speak to people. Don't stand back and leave the phone and think it's going to just ring by itself, because it's not. You got to pick the phone up. Your skill has got to be communication, speaking and picking up the phone. Definitely. Okay? So don't think that things are just going to come to you just because you've set up a website. It's not. You got to market yourself. You got to look at who's asking for help on LinkedIn, for example. Reach out to them. Tell them what it is that you can do. Okay? So I just wanted to shoot this quick video with you just to go through with some of the skills that you can do. Okay? Remember, you've got to be doing sales, and you've got to be able to communicate effectively to get your clients. There's no other way of saying it. So what do you think about you becoming your own leader to make 10K a month? I'd love for you to drop in the comments here, for example, which one are you going to go for? There's 5 things. You can do the long shifts, 12-hour shifts. You can do the subcontracting, which I think is really the best option, the number one option, but you make that decision for yourself. Working with 20 contractors to see if you can at least get 5 of those contractors, okay, to work with you every month. Then there's the permanent placement as well, which is really, really good. And just think about what it is that you want to do. There's private hospitals, for example. What is it that you really want to do? What do you feel aligned with? Because no point going into something in 2025 and then you find out it's too much, it's too hard work, it's not aligned with you. If you don't love to do it, then that means it's not aligned with you. So find something that is aligned with you, that you're going to enjoy, and then you'll be able to get to your 10K months on a reoccurring basis as well. So I hope that was helpful to you, directors, and I look forward to speaking with you soon. I'm going to be doing some more videos today, just to let you know. I'm going live tonight as well. I'm going to be discussing a few things, so do look out for that, but do subscribe to the YouTube channel so that you get further notifications for when I'm going live as well. I hope you're having a wonderful day, and let me know in the comments in terms of how helpful that was. Did it give you something to think about? What are you going to be going for in your business right now to build your business for 2025? I look forward to speaking with you soon. Thank you. Take care. Bye.